Hey guys, it's time for Throwback Thursday here on Album Review TV. That's right, it's back on the main channel as I recently announced in a Facebook and Twitter post. I want to bring it back to this channel just so more of you guys can see it and so I can focus my side channel beyond ARTV, more on track reviews, music news, and I'm going to be kind of revamping that and even Album Review TV in the coming months, as well as the website, just redoing everything in terms of like the way everything looks and flows and that sort of thing, and just adding some new things. But you can rest assured that all the reviews are going to keep coming. Throwback Thursday once a month, 7 on Sunday on the side channel every week. So make sure you subscribe over there as well. Today it's time for a review of Neutral Milk Hotel's second and last studio album, widely regarded as one of the greatest albums and indie albums of all time. It's called In the Aeroplane Over the Sea, released in 1998. And when it came out, I'm sure it just polarized people and critics alike, honestly, because some of the sounds on this album are very, very odd. Lyrical content, sounds, just so many instruments. It could be described as so many different genres: lo-fi, psychedelic folk, folk rock, indie rock, rock and roll. Really, there's a little bit of everything. Jeff Mangum's, the lead vocalist's voice is just very odd, but not necessarily off-putting. It's something that you just kind of like, you keep listening to, and the more and more you hear it, I feel like the more it grows on you. Now, the reason that I wanted to check out this album, I'd never heard it in full until this year, or else late last year, I should say. I wanted to check it out just because I started getting into the title track in the Aeroplane Over the Sea a lot, and King of Carrot Flowers Parts 1, and of course Parts 2 and 3 as well. Holland 1945 was another track that caught my attention. Ended up downloading the entire album, and I ended up agreeing with a lot of these critics that have it on their greatest albums list and most influential albums. This is definitely something that just helped bring weirder music and different styles of music, I think, into the mainstream. This album kind of caught fire in terms of cult status. So many people regard this album, and maybe a little bit too high, but they regard it as just such an amazing feat and triumph for this group to release this record. When really, yes, it is a really solid record, but is it that amazing? Maybe not quite so much. Now, don't get me wrong, I do really love this record, but I just feel like some people do tend to overhype it, as there are so many great albums from the 90s, from the 2000s, really just from all of the time since music really started coming into the mainstream in terms of what we know music as today. King of Carrot Flowers Part 1 kicks off this record with more of an upbeat style. Then parts 2 and 3 get a little bit weird, but I really like it. It's a little bit twisted. Like I said, there's some dark themes explored here lyrically, and talking about learning about what each other's bodies were for, possibly referring to the kids being abused sexually, verbally, etc. There's just some moments that really make you think about like what happened in this band's life, or especially Jeff Mangum's. Two-Headed Boy is another one that's really interesting to think about. It's not necessarily about a two-headed child, but rather than just kind of comparing it to other things. Another one that really caught my attention was Ghost and even Holland 1945. There's such a range of highs and lows on this record. Oh Comely it's an over 8-minute track. That one just really, really slows things down, and not necessarily one of my favorites, but I do appreciate the track. But then you can get more uplifting tracks like In the Aeroplane Over the Sea, the King of Carrot Flowers series, and even the Untitled track, which is the next to last. That one is just a blast, like a folkorama almost. It's just all over the place, makes you want to kind of get up and dance. And then they can slow things down again with other tracks on the record. Really, it's all over the place, and it's thoroughly enjoyable. Holland 1945 is the last track that I want to talk about. That one in particular just really stood out to me because I love the way it starts off on the guitar. You hear it being strummed, and then this barrage of instruments just comes in, powered by Jeff's vocals and kind of in command there, but it's got this huge mix of instrumentation, backing it, powering it, driving it, really making you wonder, like, how did they get this creative idea to actually put all of this and use all of these instruments in one song and really all over the place on this album. It's just an album that really, it's kind of a little bit shocking at first. just to see like what exactly they're doing here on this record. They kind of redefine some things here with it, and there definitely are some misfires here and there. The Fool is a track that I'm not as fond of, as well as Ghost, but the majority of them I do really thoroughly enjoy, and there's not a track on it that I necessarily dislike. For me, this is a 4.5 out of 5. Have you guys heard this record? I'm sure you've probably seen it, like the album cover somewhere. Fun fact for you, actually, the album cover, the band actually used an old postcard and just kind of like messed it up and changed things around, and that's where the album cover came from. That's something that I didn't know until recently, so I thought that was kind of cool that it came from an old postcard that they kind of changed around. But if you haven't heard the album, definitely go check it out. But if you had, reminisce on it, hear it again, let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. And of course, let me know what I should do for the next Throwback Thursday, which will be next month in February. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this review with a friend, help the channel grow. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you very soon right here on Album Review TV.